All I'm saying is there's 2 times you put the young man in the Wildcat and did not put him under center. And we're talking about uplifting the quarterback. Everybody's going to still look at a guy like Shedeur Sanders. They want him to win. I don't know if everybody in that building wants him to win.
Gins the back. Sanders to the air. Gets a block. Hit as he throws. Caught wide open. Fanning 5. Touchdown, Cleveland. Sanders a terrific read.
The Cleveland Browns are kneed in a quarterback storm that's shaking the entire league. And Randy Moss just dropped a match on the whole situation. This isn't a quiet debate behind closed doors. This is a Hall of Fame superstar calling out an NFL franchise like they're playing games with their own rookie quarterback's future. Every fan can feel the tension, and the noise in Cleveland is getting louder by the hour. Shedeur Sanders stepped into his second NFL start against one of the nastiest defenses in the league.
Quarterback. We've seen Jackson Dart. We've seen all of these young. We've seen Bo Nix. And last week, what I didn't see is the Cleveland Browns trying to uplift their quarterback. He throws the long ball, gets it down there on the 2, but then you run in Wildcat. If we're talking, wait a minute, Alex, if we're talking about uplifting the quarterback, you sitting there trying to tell me that Shedeur Sanders couldn't have handed that ball off the judge?
With every camera locked on him like he's under a microscope. But there's one question the Browns keep dodging, like it's a blitz from the edge. Did this coaching staff actually take touchdown chances out of his hands during his debut? Randy Moss says they absolutely did. And when someone with his resume speaks, you listen. Last week in Vegas, Shedeur launched a deep ball so clean it froze the entire stadium for a split second. He dropped it right inside the 2-wide line, setting up a picture-perfect moment for a young quarterback to finish the job.
The young kids did in New York for the Giants, man. And now you bring a guy like Shedeur. From the day he was drafted, man, you've seen all of this energy from the Cleveland Brown fans. And then you look at last week's, that bomb that he threw, I don't even have to.
But instead of letting him punch it in, the Browns pulled him off the field and ran the Wildcat twice. Not once, twice. They stripped their rookie of the moment he earned. The moment that could have shifted momentum and confidence in a heartbeat. Think about what that says. You draft a quarterback in the first round, you hype him as the future, and the second he puts you on the goal line after a highlight throw, you bench him in the biggest moment. That's not strategy. That looks like someone upstairs doesn't want him to shine. And when people start whispering sabotage, it's because moves like this make the whispers impossible to ignore. Cleveland is sitting on 2 first-rounders in the 2026 draft. And this season is all about answering one massive question. Who is this team's quarterback of the future? Dillon Gabriel got 6 full games to prove himself before the concussion. Now, it's Shedeur's shot. But how do you evaluate a quarterback if you keep snatching away quarterback moments? Fans see it, analysts see it, and now Randy Moss is calling it out in front of the entire country. He didn't sugarcoat anything. He said what everyone else has been too scared to admit. There's a major disconnect between what the Browns claim they want and what they're actually doing on the field. When respected veterans start questioning whether the people in the building even want the kid to succeed, that's not a concern. That's a 5-alarm warning siren. The numbers game excuse doesn't stick either. Yes, the Wildcat gives an extra blocker. Yes, it worked, and they scored. But what message are you sending to your rookie quarterback during his first NFL start?
Rex Ryan, you're talking about a guy that is coming up his first start on the road with this defense. Hey, man, we're just asking you to get it to the playmakers. And there's the reaction right there. Hey, Myles Garrett, I know it's been a couple of weeks, maybe a couple months since you.
You're telling him you don't trust him at the goal line. The exact moment every young QB dreams of. And that message doesn't disappear after one play. It echoes through the entire locker room. Even Myles Garrett couldn't hide the truth. His reaction to Shedeur's deep ball said everything about what this offense has been missing. A superstar on defense, who's dragged the franchise for years, finally saw a spark he could believe in. The energy was real, the excitement was contagious, and the vibe on that sideline finally shifted until the coaches smothered it by abandoning the hot hand. Now, let's address the part everyone tiptoes around. Shedeur Sanders is polarizing. He's not the quiet rookie who keeps his head down and blends in. He's got style. He's got confidence. He wears the watch. He talks about greatness. He doesn't fit the cookie-cutter rookie mold the old-school crowd loves. And when someone is different, people start inventing reasons to hold them back. But different doesn't equal wrong. History is filled with young quarterbacks who broke the mold and were judged more harshly than they deserved. Some people see Shedeur's confidence and twist it into something it's not. But players inside locker rooms know the truth.
And last week, what I didn't see is the Cleveland Browns trying to uplift their quarterback. He throws the long ball, gets it down there on the 2, but then you run in Wildcat. If we're talking, wait a minute, Alex, if we're talking about uplifting the quarterback, you sitting there trying to tell me that Shedeur Sanders could have handed that ball off to Judkins? All I'm saying is there's 2 times you put the young man in the Wildcat and did not put him under center. And we're talking about uplifting the quarterback. So I'm just talking about moving forward. Can they continue to uplift this quarterback? Because the one thing about it, everybody's going to still look at a guy like Shedeur Sanders. They want him to win. I don't know if everybody in that building wants him to win.
Swagger is only a problem when it can't be backed up. And this kid is already showing flashes that Cleveland hasn't seen in years. And that's exactly why this situation feels bigger than football. You can almost sense the power struggle in the air. Coaches wanting control, veterans wanting hope, front office wanting answers, and a rookie trying to prove he belongs in this league. Every snap, every drive, every decision is being magnified. And Shedeur is stuck in the middle of a battle he didn't even start. What makes it even more dramatic is the timing. Cleveland fans are starving for a quarterback who can finally bring consistency. And the moment someone shows potential, the staff starts overthinking the simplest situations. Instead of riding momentum, they shut it down. Instead of letting the kid cook, they pull the pan off the stove. And that kind of hesitation can break a young quarterback before he ever gets a fair chance. Young quarterbacks get blasted the moment they show personality, while other players get praised for having that dog in them. The double standard is so obvious, it barely needs explaining.
For some reason, he obviously is very polarizing. But to go to that game, listen, that's a numbers game. Obviously, going to the Wildcat, you get an extra blocker in the box, and it scores. They obviously managed his first career start, which they should have.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
Your first career start in the NFL. Yeah. I threw 4 interceptions my first. Most QBs lose the game, and I thought Shedeur knew the assignment and he passed the test. He took care of the football for the most part. Obviously, the 1 interception, but other than that, he played really smart.
Protecting a young quarterback makes sense. But what happened in Cleveland wasn't protection. It was suffocation. The game plan was locked into safe mode from kickoff. Screens, dump-offs, quick throws that didn't stress the defense at all. That's acceptable early in the game, maybe even for a full first half. But when your quarterback suddenly drops a dime deep down the field and the sideline explodes with energy, that's the exact moment you take the training wheels off. You don't pull the plug right when the kid finally catches fire. Despite all the limits placed on him, Shedeur Sanders still passed the most important rookie test. He protected the football, 1 interception, but the rest of his performance was clean and composed. He showed touch on the deep ball that you can't coach, accuracy you can't teach, and poise most first-year quarterbacks don't have. He proved he belongs out there, no question. Yet somehow the conversation keeps circling back to whether he's ready, whether he's too confident, or whether he matches Brown's culture. It's unbelievable. This team walked into the game with a record of 2-N. This is not a playoff contender. This is a franchise in evaluation mode. Every snap Shedeur touches should be treated like gold, because this is the time to find out exactly who he can become. Instead, they're treating him like he's made of glass, like one mistake might shatter him. That's not development. That's fear. When you're 2-9, you're not playing for January. You're playing for next season and the season after that.
I am holding Shedeur Sanders to a higher standard. You come in here with that.
Why?
Well, reason why. First, his name. 2 of what he did and what he's accomplished in college. Okay. Then you come in here with the swag, throwing the wrist up with the watch, talking about legendary. That's all cool. We ride with that. Now you have to go out here and perform.
Sure.
All I'm saying is last week we talk about the young quarterbacks and what it looked like to me. It's the first series. He could have handed that ball off. So what is it going to look like today?
This is the perfect time to let a young quarterback learn, grow, fail, bounce back, and build confidence snap by snap. Look around the league, and the difference is embarrassing. Jackson Dart got real opportunities. Bo Nix was allowed to play his way into rhythm every week. You can see the growth in those franchises because they committed to their rookie quarterbacks. Meanwhile, Cleveland talks like they're giving Shedeur the keys, but then locks the steering wheel the moment the game starts. This isn't about one play call or one drive. It's about trust. It's about creating an environment where a young quarterback can flourish instead of constantly watching over his shoulder.
And what the specific skills I'm talking about is arm talent and touch on the damn deep ball. This guy had it. He had it.
Yeah,
I mean, in college, it's so impressive, and he's tough as hell. Like that. Those are things that I love about this guy. And I hate the fact people say, "Oh, you hate." The hell I do. Like, I love this kid. I want him to succeed. I just wish people would help.
So when Randy Moss questions whether everyone in the building actually wants Shedeur to succeed, he's not exaggerating. He's pointing straight at a deeper issue inside the organization. The formula for a team like Cleveland is simple. Rely on the elite defense, avoid turnovers, and make explosive plays when they appear. Shedeur already nailed the hardest part, ball security. One pick, but otherwise clean. And that deep ball touch, you cannot coach that. You cannot drill that into someone. That's natural talent. And Cleveland is acting like they don't know what to do with it. What makes the situation even more frustrating is how obvious the path is.
And it scores. They obviously managed his first career start, which they should have.
Yeah, I thought it was
it's
great.
your first
I thought
career
the way they
start in the
managed it,
NFL.
yeah.
I threw 4 interceptions my first. Most QBs lose the game, and I thought Shedeur knew the assignment and he passed the test. QBs lose the game, and I thought Shedeur knew the assignment and he passed the test. He took care of the football for the most part. Obviously, the 1 interception, but other than that, he played really smart.
Give the kid real opportunities. Let him showcase what he can do, and judge him based on actual quarterback reps, not watered-down plays designed to hide him. If you want a franchise quarterback, you have to let him play like one. The Browns have a young quarterback who brings excitement back to a city starving for offensive life. Yet, the coaching staff keeps dimming the lights anytime he starts to shine. If they don't change course soon, they risk wasting the momentum he's building. And once a young QB loses that spark, it's tough to get it back. He showed arm talent most quarterbacks in this league would dream of, and he did it with confidence that jumped off the screen. He proved he belongs in the NFL, yet everyone keeps circling back to the same tired questions. Is he ready? Is he too confident? Does he fit the Browns' culture? It's unbelievable how fast some people look past what he did on the field. The opposing defense has a top-tier front, a real top 10 group with veterans who have been wrecking pockets all season. Their star linebacker is one of the best in the league, chasing quarterbacks like a heat-seeking missile. And the moment Shedeur Sanders dropped back, you could feel the stadium waiting for number 22 to come crashing in.
They continue to uplift this quarterback because the one thing about it, everybody's going to still look at a guy like Shedeur Sanders. They want him to.
But Shedeur stood tall, delivered a clean dime in his debut, and shook off every doubt like it was nothing. His teammates have felt the spark he brings, the new energy, the fresh confidence. Yet, the same questions about fit and process keep hovering over his name like a cloud.
2 of what he did and what he's accomplished in college, okay? Then you come in here with the swag, throwing the wrist up with the watch, talking about legendary. That's all cool. We ride with that. Now you have to go out here and perform.
Wild to watch him make NFL throws and still hear people doubting whether he's the right match when he already showed he can light it up. That's what makes this whole situation so frustrating. Shedeur Sanders has every physical tool you look for in a young quarterback. The arm strength is elite. The deep ball touch is straight NFL level. The toughness is obvious. He takes hits, pops back up, and keeps going without blinking. But none of it matters if the organization doesn't fully commit to developing him the right way. The Browns have been looking for a real franchise quarterback for decades. Decades of misfires, disappointments, and false hope. Now they finally have a rookie with genuine potential. And somehow, they're treating him like he's fragile instead of letting him grow into the role. They handled his first start like it was a playoff elimination game, instead of a chance to develop him in a season that's already gone off the rails. Randy Moss saw the truth immediately. He called it out for everyone to hear. And now the entire football world is locked in watching every move Cleveland makes from here on out. The big question now is simple. Will the Browns prove Randy Moss wrong by unleashing their most talented young player? Or will they validate every concern by continuing to hold him back? This decision won't just define one game or 1 month. It could shape the next decade of Browns football. When a franchise finally gets a chance to build around a young star, they don't get many do-overs. The clock is ticking, Cleveland, And your future is standing on that field right now, waiting for you to give him real control of this offense. Choose your next move carefully, Cleveland, because everyone is watching. Drop your opinion in the comments and tell your friends about this.